Hello, Solve leaders. Welcome to the new Solve website and training video. Whether you are a new leader or have been leading projects with Solve for many years, we appreciate all you do for Oregon and your communities. We hope this video will answer any questions you may have about your new leader account, but please do not hesitate to contact us if you need help or cannot find a resource you are looking for. In this video, you will learn how to create your volunteer projects in our new online system. We'll also briefly review the resources available to you through your new Solve account. For those of you needing more information on how to order supplies, apply for a small grant, or report your results, check out some of our other videos. Links, when available, will be included on the website as well as your new leader portal. So if you have led a Solve project in the past, you will receive an email asking you to create a password in order to log into the new site. And to do this, you'll click on the email link or go directly to solveoregon.org and click the login button, which you'll find on the top right-hand side of the page. Note that your email will be your login name. So we've actually created a kind of a fake login for this video, and let's see if I can get it. So our fake name is Test McTesterson. So we'll say testerson@gmail.com, and then you'll want to make sure to create a password as well. And then you'll just hit login. So since you've led events with Solve in the past, the Solve website should recognize you as a leader. Every time you log in, you will be automatically sent to the Leader Resources portal, which is a great new addition to our new system, which we didn't have exactly like this in the past. So in this page, you'll actually be able to see all the resources you need for your event. You'll be able to create your own event, report your results, and you'll be able to check up on who's registering for your project and be able to download the roster. Note that you'll be able to return to the website by clicking Return to Volunteer Portal over here. And then you can also get back to that Leader Resources portal by clicking on Return to Managing Opportunities. So very quickly on this page, we'll go into more detail about this later, and I would recommend kind of and looking into it and clicking through these different resources. You will find the Project Leader Handbook, the Beach Cleanup Leader Handbook for Project Oregon coordinators, the Zone and Beach Captain Guide for the coast-wide cleanups twice a year, and then also the service learning guides for educators and school-related projects. And then you'll also find a quick guide to leading a Solve project. So your property owner permission forms are here. You really want to make sure that you have these forms filled out or the property owner permission from the property owner before you go in to create your event. You'll be able to create your event here or at this button up here. Order supplies, apply for a small grant, either some recycling resources for litter cleanups, and then reporting your results, which you can do online now, as well as the paper waiver if that's easier. You also have some important day of event forms here, the waivers, and community service credits. And then if you're part of a specific program, you can find your specific resources here for that program. So things like a social media guide or editable flyers will be in these links. So if you're part of the upcoming Spring Oregon Beach Cleanup and you'd like to find the Beach Captain training video, you would click right here. So now you are ready to create an event. So you'll just click Create an Event up here. So one quick note for Solve, Zone, and Beach Captains, specifically for the upcoming Spring Oregon Beach Cleanup and Beach and Riverside Cleanup events. Note that your events will automatically go up on the calendar when registration opens. So for this upcoming event, that will be February 5th, 2018. If you would like to make edits to those events, you can go in and edit them at that time, or you can give us a call and we can do that on the back end. But for everybody else, this is your event creation screen. So we've actually made up kind of a fake event for this, and we'll call it the Oregon City, it's already in here, Oregon City Earth Day Cleanup. And just make sure you're being kind of descriptive in your opportunity name. So maybe the location and a little bit of what you're doing, like a cleanup or trash bash or trashapalooza or, tree planting. You can make it as kind of fun and creative as you'd like. This is where you'll write your description for your project. So some tips. You'll want to say something about your unique project. So something exciting that will get people excited about coming to your event. So what activities will you be doing? So is it a litter cleanup or a tree planting or an invasive removal? Will there be coffee or raffle prizes? Anything you want people to know that they'll be looking forward to at the event. What else? So mentioning any safety hazards. Oops. How about language interpretation? We actually get a lot of questions about this, whether there's upcoming bilingual events or Spanish speakers at events. So if you do have that at your event, please note that. That's really important for volunteers to see. And also, what should volunteers bring? Or wear? So should they wear sturdy shoes or bring their own reusable gloves? That would be a great place to put it. And then also we recommend putting in your event location and address. And just a little explanation of that. Note that the location is down here, and you'll select your location down here. However, in this new system, on the actual web calendar, the volunteers won't be able to see the location and address until they register for the event. So if you'd like them to see, generally where it's located or even the exact address before they register, I would recommend putting that in here. Note that you can also change the font, the size of the font, and the color of the font and of the text. We do recommend keeping it pretty simple just to have consistency over all the events on our calendar. So keeping it, a simple text, a simple font, and we recommend this size. If you want to make it a little bigger, that's fine, but keeping it around, 10 to 12 font is good. And then keeping it black is helpful. If you do want to highlight specific words, like there's gonna be Spanish interpretation, or there's a specific fun thing that you're including, you can always change the color for that one word or one sentence. You can also add in photos, which is pretty something that we haven't been able to do before. And that's pretty cool as a coordinator to be able to really highlight your event with a picture. So in order to do that, you would go up to Image, click that, and then Browse Server. And if you've done an event before with us and created an event in this system in particular, some of the photos that you've used before will show up in this folder. So you can use those again, or you can click Upload and upload photos from your computer. But we're going to choose one that we've done before right here. So you click it. You can edit it a bit if you click here. And you can crop it and resize it and whatnot. But for this purpose, we're just going to click it and hit choose. And as you can see, it goes into this preview screen and it looks quite big. If the pictures are high res, then they will default to a very large size. So you'll want to make sure that this little lock ratio is on, and you'll want to make it smaller. And we would recommend 100 to 200 is a pretty good size for pictures on this new system and web calendar. So we're going to make this one maybe 150 in width, which automatically updated to 154 in height. I would also recommend aligning it to left so you can see that the text is kind of wonky and below the picture right now. If you hit left, it'll wrap around the picture, which will just look nicer. So then you would hit OK. And now your picture's in there. So once you're done with your description, you'll come down here and you'll make sure that the opportunity coordinator is you. Tess McTesterson is our fake coordinator for this event, which automatically defaults to you. If you have other people in your organization that also have accounts, they may also show up on this list. So if you have a different day of event coordinator, or you're just creating this event for someone else in your organization, you can choose their name from this list. But do note that whoever is listed here is the main contact for Solve for this event, as well as volunteers. So you want to make sure that you have the right person in here. Then you'll select your location. If your location does not show up on this list, you can select add in a location, which you can do in the next step. But if you have submitted events before, then your previous locations will show up. And for this event, we will select the Oregon City location. You'll then select your primary impact area and your secondary impact area. If you have more than 2 impact areas, I would recommend writing all of them up in the description. But for now, we'll say that, this is mainly a litter cleanup, but we're doing a bit of invasive plant removal. So we'll select that as our secondary area. You'll then select your minimum age, and note that this specific category is minimum age unsupervised, so without an adult. It does default automatically to 13, but if you want that minimum age to be 18 or 16 or something like that, you can change that. We do recommend, 13 as the bare minimum age for somebody to come without an adult to solve projects. With an adult, you can select your minimum age as well. So usually that's lower than the unsupervised minimum age, but you can change that as well. This is a really important field. So max attendance, we will say we can only support 30 people at this litter cleanup. The reason why this is so important is that this is what shows up on the website, and this is what volunteers see is how many spots are available for this particular project. As people register, if say a group of 5 registers, the max number will go, the number on the website will go down. So it'll be, say that there's 25 spots remaining. And as people register, it'll go down and down and down until it gets to 0. And then it automatically closes your event. So if you do want to, you decide, I can actually hold 50 later on, you can go back into your event and edit it and open that back up on the website. Most projects are not going to be disaster related, so you can select not disaster related or just leave that blank. And then you'll select your program area. So if you know you're Oregon Adopt a River, doing a beach and riverside cleanup, you'll select that. If you don't know your program area, that's totally fine. We'll look at your event based on the date and put you in whichever program makes sense. For this event, we are doing an Earth Day event, so we'll say solve it for Earth Day, and then we'll hit next. So this section up here asks, does this occur on a regular schedule? Please always select no, even if your event is monthly and you're doing, a monthly litter cleanup or a monthly invasive removal project. The easiest way for us to put these on the calendar and to get your events looking like they should on the calendar is to enter them separately through different submission forms. So, and one thing that we do recommend is if your event is monthly and you've got the same description and same title for your event, but you're just changing your date and your start and end times, then let us know on the back end so that you can give us a call or email us so that we can just copy over your events in the system and avoid going through this creating additional occurrences. Can get really complicated. So just select no and then tell us when at least your first event date and start time are. Start and end time. But if it's just one episodic event, you definitely want to say no. And then we'll say for this fake event that we're having on February 10th, and the start time is 9 o'clock a.m. Oops. And the end time is 12 o'clock p.m. And then you'll hit create. So we have successfully created an event in the system. What will happen now is within 48 hours or so, Solve should be able to process this event creation. So we'll get a notification on the back end that you've created an event, and then we will look through it and make sure there's no typos, there's anything kind of wonky going on, and then we will approve that event on the back end within a couple days, and then you'll get an email. So you'll get an email right after you create an event saying that you've submitted. And then you'll get another email when it says that your event has been approved. And then that is when it'll go on the calendar. Some things to note about this screen: you can actually edit your event if you realize that you want a different minimum age, or that you have a typo in here. You can edit. You can also do that by if you're on the main screen of your leader portal, you would go over to volunteer opportunities. And then you would find your event in the list of, these are all events that you've created before. Note that the Earth Day event isn't on here. That's because it has not been published yet. So you would just select this is not published. And then you can edit your event through here or view it. But for now, just as an example of how to get to your check-in sheet, you would hit view on your event. And then you can monitor all of your volunteer signups under occurrences at the bottom of the screen. So this is this area where people will be signing up, and this number will change as people register. And then this will go down as far as the volunteers still needed. This is also the place where you'll print your check-in sheet. You can select that here. And then you can see your check-in sheet here. And we recommend printing this off either the night before, the morning of the event, just to have the most up-to-date list and to bring it with you to check folks off. So I think that's about everything that we wanted to cover in this video. If you do have any questions about any of these resources before the other videos come out, or if you have any questions about the event creation or the website, please let us know. And I guess just to show you guys really quickly what the events look like after they're on the website, if you go to Get Involved and then find an opportunity, you'll see that all of the events are listed on this calendar here, and you can search by keywords and city and state, zip code, distance, date. There's some other fields here as well, and then your events will show up like this. And then you can see the description is here, the minimum age, and then people can sign up through this button down here. Great, so thank you guys so much, and best of luck creating your events.